The importance of inclusive education for all kids. Inclusive education is a phrase used to describe the joint education of special needs and typically developing children. It is an often misunderstood and misused concept. Many schools claim to be inclusive, but with the best will in the world, few are. So, what is it all about? So, first, let's define inclusive education. What is inclusive education? So, inclusive education means that students and special needs students learn while sharing the same physical space and interacting socially and academically. It is not either or. Simply sharing the same physical space but engaging in completely different activities is not inclusive. Because of this, it is important for a school whole community to understand inclusion and make it a goal. School administrators, teachers, parents, and kids all have to buy into its value. When this happens, everyone benefits. Now let's proceed to the main topic, the importance of inclusive education. At its core, inclusive education is about appreciating each individual's differences and unique set of strengths and limitations. It is not just an education philosophy, it is an important life skill. Children grow into adults who live in a world filled with people different from themselves. Learning how to interact and work with these people is a key accomplishment of childhood, as integral as academic proficiency. An inclusive school is a perfect training ground for real life because daily social, physical, and academic interaction between kids who are typically developing and their special needs peers means students develop this following. First is greater sensitivity. Children who develop in a typical manner become more sensitive by learning side by side with special needs children. They understand how words can hurt, they practice patience, and they learn empathy. Second is better understanding of strengths and weaknesses. Kids in inclusive schools learn that everyone has strengths and weaknesses. They learn to appreciate these differences and how to collaborate in order to accomplish something. And the last one is more tolerance. Inclusive schooling teaches kids the value of another human being. No matter what that person looks or sounds like, physical and mental differences do not equate to a lesser value. Spotting the inclusive school. Inclusive education in the real world requires a delicate balance of resources, goodwill, and monitoring in order to make the experience successful and beneficial for all students. Parents of all children will find an inclusive school has a learning resource center or an in-house team of specialists who can address the unique needs of special needs children. A sensitized teaching staff with the enthusiasm and skill to teach inclusively. Living an inclusive life. Inclusion is not just an educational style, it is a life philosophy. Children pick up cues from adults early on, and if you make a big deal of people's differences, your children will too. Inclusive education combats the world's tendency toward prejudice and fear, and produces more tolerant, peaceful, and open children and adults as well. And that's all for the importance of inclusive education. Thank you for listening. God bless.